Hi, my name is Attila, and before we start building this loop, I will share some candid information about my career to better understand my excitement about this distro plate and EK's collaboration with Asus for this product. I started my unofficial career in the PC industry back in 2011, but I was modifying PCs even before that, adding LEDs where there were none, cutting openings in case side panels to install glass windows, you know, the usual. Before joining EK, I was a senior editor in charge of hardware reviews. My domain were PC cases, fans, and CPU coolers. And that's what led me to EK. It's evident that the case is an essential part of any build and the first visual contact you have with any PC before you even know what's in it. A good gaming PC case should be highly functional, built to last, it must provide outstanding performance, user-friendly, and aesthetically satisfying. And that's precisely what the ROG Hyperion GR701 is all about. All the more reason to build an equally impressive liquid cooling solution for this product. I started my career at EK 6.5 years ago as a marketing specialist, social media manager. Today, I am the head of EK's product marketing and fortunate enough that after all these years, I can still pursue my passion for PCs, PC cases, and PC cooling through EK. I began modding PCs more seriously around 2015-2016, and one of my first liquid cooling projects was a black and red Star Citizen team build using the Asus ROG Maximus 7G. So even back then, Asus was my go-to choice. You've probably already seen my current home PC, but in case you haven't, here it is again. It's no mistake that I'm using the first PC case that EK has ever produced. And of course, it is geared up with custom loop liquid cooling. I'm fortunate enough that we as a company can work with some of the PC hardware manufacturers that were my idols some 10-15 years ago and still are, like Asus, and that makes me very happy. When we first saw photos of the ROG Hyperion, our team was bouncing off the walls with excitement. We immediately contacted Asus to find out more about the case and, naturally, to check out its liquid cooling capabilities. One thing led to another, so we quickly started talking about a collaboration. And with the help of the case team from Asus, we began the development of this distro plate. With immense pleasure, we present you with the first second-generation quantum reflection distribution plate for an ROG case. We are honored that we have worked together with Asus on designing this remarkable liquid cooling solution for an equally remarkable case, allowing us to bring high-performance liquid cooling to gaming PC enthusiasts worldwide. Of course, we are also looking forward to working with Asus and the ROG team in the future for any upcoming PC cases, ensuring that they get proper liquid cooling support. Now it's time to see the Hyperion case and the distro plate in action. Let's get down to business. we have the build ready. When you will be watching the time lapse, obviously you will see that I've tried doing the same loop with tubes. You can do it with tubes, but it looks a bit janky. So I did it with fittings as well. Looks much better if you ask me. You don't have to write this down. This build will also be in the shop, the loop, so you will have the full list of fittings, what you need to achieve the same looks. But you might be wondering why I have a white box in front of me. This white box is the new monoblock, which will be released soonish. We are talking about matter of days when you're watching this video. It's a very special edition monoblock, which is for the Z790 Extreme, and we will talk more about the block. But now I want to drain this PC, swap the motherboard, mount the block and then the motherboard, and to talk more about why is this monoblock so special. This wasn't actually planned for this build, but we have gotten this pre-production sample quite early, so now we can have fun with it. As you can see, the block has like 4 holes. We will talk more about that. But now first I have to drain this loop so that I can start working on it again. The distro plate is also a pre-production sample, so it has drain ports only from the back. That's why we don't have a drain valve installed. I will be having some challenges of draining it, but the serial production of this distro will have the drain ports from the front, and that will make everyone's life much easier than mine right now. So let's get draining, and then we will talk about this chunk of copper here and chunk of aluminum in a jiffy. Let's go. So I got the MOBO out, I got the GPU out, loop drained. Now it's time for us to talk about the interesting stuff. We'll talk about this later as well, about this monoblock. So in this monoblock kit you will get liquid metal mounting screws, lots of cables, lots of pads. This is actually how the box will look like, but not white when you get it. Big monoblock, the lid tool, the ILM if you don't delete, and the hold down die guard and cold plate and jet insert if you want to delete, and this humongous piece of aluminum, which was this big chunk of aluminum before we started doing something to it. Why is this so special? So the entire bottom part is copper, so this part is not stainless steel, it's copper. This is for the M.2. This mounts onto the board first. It cools the PRM LAN controller. You can also mount the stock Extreme Matrix LED display here back on it, so it looks nice. Cable plugs in here. This monoblock has pin contacts, so you first mount this on, put the CPU in. If you have a deleted CPU, you can use a deleted monoblock. This goes on like that, makes contact with the pins. RGB turns on. It has 2 temperature sensors here. I can show it later, or we can throw in some photos. And it has a flow sensor. All of that plugs onto the motherboard because the Extreme has the water zone plugs. And that's not all of it. The additional 2 ports here have something that's called valves. If I remove this, it's gonna fly off, because there's a tiny valve in here. You can give me some sharp item. So when the plug is inside, this valve is closed, and this works as a ordinary monoblock. So in, out, that's it, job done. If you have the plugs off, the valve opens, and if you install any fitting here, then it will flow out and back just like a regular port. This means that you can have GPUs done like that, something like that, because this is a big GPU and the terminal is moved away a bit. I will need some fittings to make it work. But if you have a distro plate, there's actually 3 setups, so was I told, that you can do with this. So you can either have it used as a normal monoblock, you can either have the GPU parts linked together so that there's no tubes to the GPU, and connect the monoblock with the GPU directly. And there's also one more way where you use 3 tubes. They explained it to me, I'm not quite clear with it, but I'm gonna do that and see how it works. So that's basically it for this monoblock. We will mount this to the board. We will not delete this time so that I don't kill a CPU again. And then we will put it all inside the loop, the case, and see how does it look. This motherboard, if you have the stock cover, you're not able to mount active backplates in a horizontal position. This piece is custom made by EK and will be also available in the shopnow.com. This is a full piece of aluminum machined. This also fits the Z690 and also the Glacial. So I know we had complaints from Glacial users that they can't mount active backplates, but with the help of this, now you can do. Have to remove the entire backplate, like so. We already removed the quick release from the GPU because it's also in the way active backplate. There's one more screw somewhere about here. We will have a much more refined manual than I do. So the build is done, the motherboard is swapped. I moved from the Crosshair 8 to the Z790 Extreme with the special edition monoblock that's gonna be released soon, TM. As you've seen, I have managed to pull off the 3-tube setup as was suggested by our R&D team. We've also used the ILM replacement frame on the CPU. We did not delete this CPU at this point. There's just no need for this showcase build, but the main point of this monoblock is that you can also have a full motherboard cooling with the M.2 as well, temp sensors, flow meters, and use a deleted CPU as well. So that's a great advantage of this monoblock. I hope you like the build. The other build that was first made will also be available in the shop, the loop. So you will also be able to copy the fittings used in the build with this distro. We will try to feature this special edition monoblock a bit more so that you have better drawings of like all of the three setups that you can use, so that you can choose whichever you want, or even use it without a distro in a completely different case or build. So we will try our best to highlight all of the features of this special edition monoblock. And I hope you like the build, and I hope you like the distro plate as well. We like the case. It looks stunning, and the handles came in very handy for flipping the case around and building inside it. Of course, don't forget to like this video so that we know that we are doing a good job. You can also share it with your ROG friends so that they know that this combination of hardware is also available for their precious ROG builds and hardware. That's it. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.